man, I just need more carbs to boost my energy. Really? Have you ever heard that before? Well, it's actually just the opposite, and I'm going to explain why. So I'm going to explain this in two different ways, the simple version and the technical version for those people that want to know about it. When you eat carbs, you lose potassium. And when you lose potassium, you get tired, weak. Potentially, you can have paralysis if there's a huge potassium loss, leg cramps, abnormal heart rhythm, even a palpitation could be one symptom, high blood pressure, and tremor. So that's the simple version. Let me explain a little bit more technical. There's something called insulin-induced hypokalemia. Hypokalemia is low potassium. When you stimulate insulin, because the carbs are high, you block this enzyme, okay? This enzyme is a pump, and you have millions of them in all of your cells. And this pump basically keeps the potassium inside the cell and the sodium outside the cell to form an electrical gradient so it can act as a battery. And you need the battery to keep the muscles relaxing and contracting, as well as to keep the messages flowing, as well as to keep the electrical signals through the nervous system activated. What's interesting is 30% of all the energy that you have in your body is allocated to this specific pump. So if you inhibit this pump, more potassium stays outside the cell and you start losing potassium, okay? And that condition is called hypokalemia, and you're going to get these symptoms right here. So that's just one reason why you get tired after carbs. There's other reasons as well. So a spike in insulin will cause a potassium deficiency. And of course, not consuming enough potassium foods can also be another reason, but there are more reasons right here. Let's say you have a loss of fluid, diarrhea or vomiting, okay? That could be one. Also, if you're diabetic and you're peeing excessively, you can lose fluid with that. Now, if you have steroids or you have a huge spike in stress or an injury or shock to the body, you lose potassium. And you also, during surgery, lose potassium, and this is why many times they will put potassium in your IV. This is interesting. Alkalosis could be the reason why you're low on potassium. There's a huge push to make everyone alkaline, right? Well, if you're too alkaline, you're going to have alkalosis, and you're going to be deficient in potassium. When you take steroids or you go through a lot of stress, that can also create alkalosis. And so will a high sugar diet. And then you have certain diuretics will also create a potassium deficiency. And also, if you're low in magnesium, you're not going to be able to have enough potassium in the body too. So these are other reasons why you may also be tired due to this low potassium. But I wanted to emphasize the importance of potassium with your energy. And if you want more data on that, check out these videos on this page. Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore, actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's some only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about. It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat burning triggers and blockers and fat burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. there's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause. I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.